Awesome.
So how's going your day?
Good. I've been coached today, and it kind of happens a shift. At the beginning, it was like I come into coaching like more kind of in a low state and get out in a higher state. And now it's the other way around, which is so cool because like it's nice to be in a high state and now discover and explore like the lower states. And it's always like a pushing and it's difficult to get forward. But yeah, like Erica really pushed me, which is great.
Great. It's nice to see it this way.
Yeah. Didn't
Definitely
expect that.
seeing the opportunity on it. So that's
huge.
good.
So how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty great this week. Still a lot of things going on. Not so much coaching because but things are progressing on my side. I start to get a lot of idea around niches. So
what came up for you?
Because I knew I wanted to work with companies mostly. And I couldn't find something that really, catch me or align with me. And then I start to think, okay, what I was working on when I was in the company, what topic I was involved in outside of my regular job, and like what were some elements I thought were going wrong. Wrong. That were not really functioning in companies. And so I was like, okay, so maybe I can do something around that. And in the meantime, it was really interesting. So I came up with this kind of broad exercise. And I received this email from the it's French consular in San Francisco. They send a newsletter every month. And the first article, I don't know, I read the title and I was a bit triggered, like, there is something being. It was like, this French guy, he left Google to create his own social company to support people. And I was like, what it is? And I went there and he created a coaching business for companies. And I really like the way he's done it. So I think I had a lot of inspiration from him. And so basically now I still have many ideas, but there is something around the engagement at work. Because I at least in the company I was working for, it was something like really important. We were talking about it every 3-4 months. And the issue was that a lot of people were not engaged and the score wasn't improving over the year, meaning that, something were missing for people. And the second element I took around that is that the company gave me a chance when I was there to be part of a kind of, it was not officially a coaching program. It was called mentoring program, but all the mentors were coached. So in a way, they were kind of mentoring, coaching us. And I spoke with other people who did it with me, this program, and they were all like, wow, it's amazing. Now I can do my job better. I feel better. I can do this and this in my personal life. And you could really see the difference between who they were before and who they were after. And they were like, wow, the company should provide coach to employee and not only to top executive. So I think there is something to do around like employee and it's not really low-level manager, but like managers, not especially the executive one. So everybody in the company can access coaching in a way and improve their engagement and feel better at work. And if it's not the work for them, then maybe to switch, but at least to support them there.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think we talked and we had some sessions together when you were kind of thinking about leaving your company and the job and going full-time coach. So yeah, that really sounds like near to your heart, what you found
Definitely. And something that is really interesting is at the time, so you receive this Gallup survey, at least in the company I was in, and every, I think it's semester or quarter, you review, you redo it, and you get results, and you need to talk about it with your team. And I'm not sure exactly why, but my boss wasn't fully into it, so he delegated to me. He was like, no, but you're really good at that, so take the engagement survey, show the results to everybody, give your opinion, and just go with it. So in a way, I was already close to it, and I always had like a lot of idea on how to change things and support others. So
cool. I'm so happy for you to have found like a first idea that sounds really true to you.
So I'm not sure how to develop it yet, but yeah, at least it's more clear. Like it's not 100 of topic in the big area of companies. So that's a good one. And I'm even thinking of maybe like on the top of coaching, doing a bit of consulting aside. But then it will take a bit more time, I guess, for this one.
Yeah. What would you be consulting about?
I'm not sure if I shared with you, but when I was working for my previous company, I joined the company through a graduate program. So do you know what is a graduate program?
Like a program for students from universities?
Okay, so it's not exactly for students, or in some company it is, but most of the time it's not. So basically you're joining a company as an employee. So you're like a regular employee, and on the top of it, you are in this graduate program. And graduate program, it's like something to accelerate your career, so you become a leader faster than a regular person. So most of the time they take young people. And so on the top of your regular job, you get some training. So for example, on my side, we had like a training around the area of expertise, so the logistic, the maritime, and stuff like that. Then we had another one around problem solving, how to fight bias, communication. Another one around innovation, AI. Well, a lot of different topics, so you can really open your mind and become a great leader. Emotional intelligence as well. And at the end, you're supposed to go abroad to open to new culture, this kind of stuff. So it's really a complete program. And I think it could be developed, at least in other company. And if not only for young people, maybe it can even be open to manager or employee, or to become a better person, something like that. So I don't know. I know I have this expertise. I did this program. It's kind of special because there is one program in not each big company, but in some big companies. And there is definitely a need for that. It could be a kind of academy for leader or something, because they really teach us like really great concept that would have been super useful for my managers, for example. And if not for managers, then for young people, because I don't mind working with, people just started, because when I joined, I was 2 years experience. So I was young. And I know it's an issue. I don't know if you heard about it, but I spoke with my husband around that. And companies have really big issues into retaining young talent. And like it was the key for me. I left. And I was of their talent, and they lost, I guess, 0.5% of the program. So that's a lot.
Wow,
so
that's huge.
This is a really big problem. Yeah.
And it sounded like a good program.
Yeah, so it was great. And it has its downside. No, but the concept around it was really great. The class we followed, some of them were really amazing. And it's really the experience that was crazy, because so at least in the company I was working for, you traveled for every training. So first time I went to Singapore for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So it was my first time in Asia, so it was amazing. And I was meeting 60, 100 other person. No, 60 other person, not 100, 60 other person. So it was kind of crazy, like really around the people. We went 1 week and a half to Kenya. And I went into a small business, and so you can really see how it goes there, and really shift my mind like forever. And then we went to San Francisco, in the Silicon Valley and in Berkeley, to learn about innovation. So we talked with really incredible person. So on this side was perfect. On the organization part and the promise we get, there is still some improvement to do. So well, I guess I can use this kind of, it's not unique experience because there is people who've done it, but not that much. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
wow.
some public idea.
That sounds like a really cool niche and field to kind of coach engagement at work, and at the same time, or in some different aspect, like building those graduate programs.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
coaching
sure, like,
and consulting there as well.
Yeah, because I know most of coach, they do other activities on the top of it. They train or they do something else. So I was thinking maybe could like consulting could be great, especially that I've done through this kind of program. So I'm not sure like how feasible it is and what's the need exactly. But at least from what I hear from my husband in his company, he's sharing every day, and I'm like, oh my God, we shouldn't be doing it this way. And they're like, okay, so how can we improve retention of the younger, because the population of this company is getting old. And they're like, yeah, just be, what they say, just be nice to them. Or it was something like totally random. They're just going to stay, okay. So no really a plan around it, you know.
Wow.
And I think there is a need for a plan because we are different from our parents and we don't need the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do people need at work these days?
Yeah, right. Shifting the focus away from, yeah, that's what you get, to, hey, what do you need? What do you want?
Yeah.
Right. And then building the company basically around that, so that the company is not only serving customers, but also the people working in it.
Definitely. Oh, that's a big topic.
Yeah. And I think like it's so funny when my parental generation is laughing at us. Like sometimes they're ridiculing us for like, you're so lazy. You have no drive to work or work hard or go through hardships and whatever. And it's like, yeah, true, because the system we have that you built basically, or that you were in the last 50 years, it's total bullshit. It's not the system that we were going with, not at all.
And you told them this way, like it's bullshit?
I mean, my parents are pretty cool. Like they're not ridiculing me in a bad way or something. And they are quite open and aware that what is out there right now is not sufficient and it's not cool. So yeah, but that's basically the message we can get across to them without hurting them, because some people are also like, no, this is my whole life. And we get to be like chill with those. Cannot just throw them out.
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Or
I
at
think,
least, yeah, or at least not not pushing them out, but offering them different choices that make more sense to the whole. If we talk about like people that are very attached to the old system.
Definitely. There is still a lot of them.
Yeah, probably. What did you want to say?
Then I was going to say, it seems that younger people and people our age are looking a bit more for purpose these days. So they enter this kind of old system that it's not really flexible in a way. And then you're not really finding your way there and you start to look for purpose. And then you see that finally you're not really fitting in this frame. And that's why people leave the company.
Yeah.
Because they don't find what they want or it's not aligned with who they are.
Which is nice to see, like how the universe organizes itself. Like that it's so, that this sense of purpose is so strong in our generation and beyond is so cool, because it kind of, it's a self-organizing system that puts away the old and kind of focuses on in the new things that actually give purpose and meaning to our lives.
Yeah, no, that's true. But then, yeah, it made me thought what you said about, but what was it for our parents? Did they repress their purpose, that they keep it inside and they just were like, okay, I need to do it because I need to earn money and I won't ask myself any question and work is hard and, you know, all of this kind of sentence we learn.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I tend to say that the way they were educated, I guess, and the society was at the time, they just repressed, kind of like they hid what they wanted. Because I spoke with some people around my parents' age, and sometimes they're like, yeah, okay, I like what I'm doing, but if I had a choice again, I think I would have done different studies and I would become something else. And now they realize it maybe around they are 50 or something, and it's like, okay, I'm close to retirement, so what's the point? Which in a way makes sense. But it's a bit sad. I'm like, oh, it's too sad. Like they were kind of forced to do something they didn't really like. So.
Yeah, I think like here in East Germany or former East Germany, it was like quite strict from the government. So my parents who grew up here, they were very forced in a sense, or restricted, confined to something very particular. And yeah, I think they kind of made very clear that this is the way to go and there's no way, no different way. And that kind of killed or like pushed back all desire for something new or creative. Yeah, I think like the cool thing about our parental generation is that they kind of they have no trauma in the sense of war like we, but they have more experience than we. So they have like a certain wisdom already. And if they heal their personal trauma, then they can fully bring their wisdom. That's like that would be so nice if they all kind of agree to this mission of bringing their wisdom without bringing their stupid ideas from the past.
Yeah.
Because they are wise, like they know things we don't, and they accomplish things that we haven't. So
yeah, that's true. So maybe we're missing a bit this kind of transmission of knowledge and in a way. And what you call wisdom, it's mix of wisdom and I guess knowledge from whatever they went through.
Yeah, just that like solid human experience they have.
Indeed, they were there before us, so
Yeah.
we know a lot.
How did
Then
we
you
end
have
up? Yeah, go ahead.
then I was going to say that we have this kind of transmission, I guess, maybe with older people, like with my grandfather, for example, is really giving the wisdom, but with parents a bit less. I don't know, maybe because of the age or still working, not working, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, with parents, it's also like there's always this sense of, no, you are my parents. I don't want to know stuff from you. I mean, I have it. How did we came to this topic?
We were talking about work, so you can go really far just starting talking about work.
Yeah, true. It's the start for everything. For some people. By the way, do you know your 16 personalities type? Your MBTI?
Yeah, I've done it a while. I don't remember. Which was it? Oh, no, I don't remember which one was it. Maybe the consul or something like that.
Oh.
But it changed quite a lot because I've done it 2 years ago and it was different the last time I've done it.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah, I thought it like what came to mind for me, it must be a blue one. I'm not.
Okay, what is the blue one?
There's
Okay.
logistician, executive, consul, and defender.
Yes. So I think I was consul, and at a point I was defender, maybe. Or one of the two, consul or defender, maybe. I'm not sure exactly which one.
Yeah, the consul is more extroverted and the defender is more introverted. That's the main difference.
I'm not sure. I think I'm in between both.
Ambivert.
No, but it's hard to say. I'm not sure for you, but I have difficulty to say if I'm extrovert or introvert because I think I'm a bit of both. Because in a way, I really love to speak with people and I'm really open to the people around me. But I really like to be just alone at home and doing my stuff.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah, for me, it's more extroverted. I get more energy from being around people and talking to them than being alone. But I also enjoy my time alone and I need it as well. Like I want my time alone to think things through and make up my mind and kind of clear away from everything that's outside. Yeah.
And what is your profile?
Commander. It's from the purple ones. Like Steve Jobs is a good commander example.
I know. My husband is commander as well.
Ah, sweet. So you got a powerhouse at home.
It wasn't really surprising. When we did the test, I knew it was going to be this one. But well, at least I know him, so that's a good one. Interesting, commander. And how do you use the information you get from the test?
That's a good question. So I studied it quite thoroughly, and I once had a cool situation where I asked my now roommate what type he is when he visited this flat, and he came from another city, so he was a little bit tired. And he told me, and then when I kind of picked up his energy that he was tired, I offered him to just go in the free room and lay down there with a mattress and just chill for some minutes, and then we can come back and talk about and meet and have conversation. And like he instantly picked it up, and it was such a cool was such a cool moment to kind of know this type in the back of my mind and offer him some space to like draw back and recharge and then come back with more enthusiasm. So yeah, that was one very practical example. When I look around for myself, I also use it. Like knowing myself is so cool with this personality type. There's just so much that I can understand more. And underneath the types are also like cognitive functions. I don't know if you've heard about them. So for me, it's, for example, and your husband, then it's extroverted thinking. It's the first function, which is like a very looking to the outside and kind of structuring everything and looking at how things are and how to make things happen. Very kind of effective and pragmatic approach. And knowing that is so cool because you kind of know when you are in that lens, which is all the time for me. and then I can kind of, okay, let's calm it down because it's a very overbearing thing or can be for other people. So you kind of sense it more when other people get shocked by it.
Interesting. Yeah. So you did really a deep research around it.
Yeah, I studied, I think, since like 2 years or something, and I just continuously read about it or watch videos. There are some really cool YouTubers who make sketches, which are super entertaining and at the same time insightful. And that's mostly of what I kind of consume. And also to see their personality type in relation to how they present the topic, which is also kind of a meta view and lesson for me.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I will definitely take it again just to remember which one I am. But I took a lot of different kind of similar tests because in one that is more or less similar, I'm not sure if you heard about the Veblen, I think it's.
How is it called?
I think it's Veblen or Veblen.
Never heard about it.
And in this one, I'm the equivalent of the commander. In this other test, I'm the shepherd.
Cool.
And it was like the same kind, you get the same kind of information. And another one that is interesting, and you can do it online as well. Have you heard about DISC?
Yes.
This one is a good one, and I've done it when I joined my company. Like my manager at the time, he did it on his leadership program, and he asked all the team to do it. So we knew exactly how each person was working.
So good.
It was easy to interact. And it was really cool. Like I really loved it because then I knew that, for example, when I was asking something to someone working, it would react a certain way because of this profile. And that another one liked to finish project, for example, so you could give in the end. And so it was really super cool.
Oh, cool. What are your colors there?
I haven't done it recently because last time I've done it was 3 years ago, and I wasn't feeling that good at the time. So all the results I got at the time, I think they were not really aligned with who I am. Okay. They were more the sad part of me. So I was kind of a victim on everything. Basically, I was level 1 all the time, so it wasn't really myself. But I guess I should do it again as well. That's a good idea. Maybe I should do it this week, like update all my results.
Yeah, if you like, do you know, you mentioned that it is online, the DISC?
Yes, you can do it in, I think it's 123 test website.
Okay.
and you
Wow.
you just say it there. I think it's this one. Yeah, I can check. I have the paper. I can give it to you after.
I would love to know this website, because I did the disc also, I think something like 2 years ago or something. And I had orange, like yellow and red, which is kind of a motivator, which is kind of, if you think about the commander type, like a more socially geared commander. Not so much a dominant and structure oriented commander, but more interaction focused. Yeah, I love this as well. I got it as a present, as a gift from some company. They just gave it away for free. Then it's like, yeah, it's part of their marketing strategy. Kind of.
No, but that's a good one.
Yeah, totally. It's a really good one.
I would definitely join for something like that.
Yeah.
But then what you shared on the first one, the 16 personality, so you shared that through it, you understood how you're working. And it really made me thought about something else, that it's a bit more spiritual one. I'm not sure if you heard about it. It's the human design.
Yeah.
I don't know if you look into it. And in
Erica
this one,
actually used it for
like,
me.
Okay, so this one is amazing. Like I did some research on my own, and they tell you like how you should talk to people, when you need to sleep, what type of food you need to eat, and how to recharge your battery. And it's, when I read mine, like the basic part, because then you need to pay to get the extra stuff. But for the basic one, I was like, oh my God, this is it. It's exactly me. How possible?
Wow.
So that's a really powerful one. So what came up from the session with Erica and this?
She just gave a very quick insight. Like we did it in the session also, like fill it out in the session. And she just mentioned about this, what is it? Emotional authority, which is the people that like need time to think decisions through, and also need to like empty themselves out throughout the day, like do all the stuff they can, and then fall to bed like totally at peace. But if I don't go out and empty myself out, then I am frustrated, or I get frustrated.
So what is your profile? Do you remember if you're manifestor, generator, projector?
I think it was manifestor, but I'm not sure. We just briefly looked into it, and I really like, I need to write her to get this the whole profile. Or do you know where I can do it for free?
Yeah, so online there is a many website where you can just give like you put your name, your date of birth, where you were born, and they give you like so you get the scheme, which shows you like you know, the different center. So if they colored or not, and
really.
that you get the numbers, and you get some basic information. Then you need to do research on your own to create it. Like it's really the basic one. Okay. But you get like if you're a manifestor or projector, what is, I don't remember exactly all the different stuff, but they give you really the basic of the profile, then you just need to do research associated to that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure how far if you went.
No, not at all at the moment. So I will pick this up after our session.
But there is definitely a lot of data online for free. Then you can otherwise reach out for people who are specialized on it, and they support you in like they give you the full profile. And for example, so as I was saying, they can tell you like, okay, this is the food you should eat to get energy, or this is the way you should sleep, this is the way you digest. So it's really like, could be really complete.
Wow.
And I'm following someone in Instagram, and she's doing kind of coaching around human design for businesses. So she teaches you how you need to, how you can run your business based on your human design.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it's like she explained her story, and it's incredible. She was like, yeah, at the beginning, I was building my business, but something was feeling off and I couldn't really find it. Then she discovered the human design, and she just tried to do everything based on their profile, and it changed everything.
Wow.
So
yeah, I'm such a sucker for those tests and kind of frameworks. Even though they can be limiting at a certain point, but until then they're just so practical. They're so insightful. And I also remember having taken one. It's also with like the time of birth and the city where you're born. And when I did this, it gave me also some interesting information that I haven't heard before. I got to remember it. I don't know. What was it? Oh yeah, that my mind and my thinking is geared towards making money. Like that's what my mind is for. It's just to make money. uh, so yeah, that's probably what I will do.
interesting. Never heard of this one.
But yeah, it sounded very true to me.
And it could be.
Or I don't know if it was framed this way. I think it was framed in the way that I will make money through using my mind. Basically, that's what it said.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
No, but it's great. Like, no judgment there. Interesting. Yeah, I think there is so much you can do. I've done another one recently. What was this name? Around positive intelligence. I think it's the website. And you could do something around what are your kind of blocker, or what was the name? I don't remember, but they were telling you, like, based on this test, like what is most likely to block you. There is like 7 or 8 blocks, and they give you some insight on this one.
And what kind of blocks?
I don't remember the report, because it's something I've done a long time ago, so I've just checked if it changed, but I don't recall exactly. I can maybe check later, see if I can find it, share with you. But there is so much everywhere. Like every time there is a test, I'm doing it just to see.
So you also did the eniogram?
Yes, but a free version, so I'm not sure if I got all the results from there. Have you done it?
Yeah, I think I did.
And how was it?
I think I was a 1 wing 9, which is 1 is a reformer, and 9 was like this laid back person. Yeah, I don't remember that the whole enneagram framework. I haven't looked at it too deeply, but a lot of people really enjoy it and get a lot out of it, which is great.
Yeah, I think it's really about finding the test or the assessment that suits yourself, what you like and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
There is definitely value everywhere.
Do you know your type at Enneagram?
No, I don't remember. I've done it really a long time ago. So. But yeah, it'd be interesting to look at it. Something that really was interesting, but I haven't done it, so I've just read about it. So I'm not sure if it's an assessment or exactly how it's working. I know my coach is doing it these days, and it's your kind of, it's not energy profile, but basically it's related to Chinese kind of tradition. and you are either the wood profile, the fire profile, the water profile, so related to one of the elements. And it gives you like how you're working with people, what you need. She's sharing around it in Instagram these days, so I'm reading it, trying to find, okay, which profile do I am? And it's complicated because I see a bit of myself in each, so that could be an interesting one, but it's a bit more holistic, I guess, since it's related to Chinese medicine, Chinese culture, energy. So
yeah. It's such an interesting like place to explore one's own personality and how things are working or not working for yourself. There's so much to discover.
Definitely. And it could be super useful for you and for people around you. There is one as well. It's not fully, it's kind of personality, but it's really focused on love. So I don't recall the full name, but it was which type of love you like. It's not really you like, but
the love languages.
Yeah, love languages.
Yeah, the 5 love languages.
And they tell you like, okay, this is the way you like to receive like sign of love. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's so cool. It's so simple.
And I found it interesting that it wasn't just around your personality, but it was really related to a specific topic. Because most of the time it's mainly test and assessment around your personality. In general, they give a bit of each aspect of your life.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Now I want to spend my day doing tests. Just to note it down so I have to remember.
Like maybe we can find a meta source where there's all assessments listed that you can take for free on the internet.
No, but it's so powerful. And it's like when we've done the Eli, like, wow, so much came from it. And it's just a test. It's incredible. Like,
so ridiculous, right? Just answering some questions or clicking some buttons, and then boom, you get a whole profile of yourself.
Yeah, no, true. So that was a good one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I especially like the Eli, of course, because it's like so framed to grow yourself. Like the others are not, they don't feel as much, they feel more like a general thing. And the Eli really gives you a solid grip on how to grow yourself.
Yeah, it's more reflection. Like it's like you're doing the personality right before to get to know a bit yourself, like, and then you move to the behavior part and how you are today, since it's more moving tool. But I think that's a good combination. And I'm even thinking now that, for example, the 16 personalities could be something great to add to a coaching session just for the person to better know themselves.
Yeah, totally. Like a really good resource. I'm wondering right now because I want to make a course or something. I have no idea what it will be about, but maybe it's like an assessment course. Like each session, the people come with a new assessment they filled out, and then we look at it and kind of just have a talk about it. That's such a cool idea. And then putting like 6 or 8 assessments together, 6 or 8 sessions, 2 months. Wow, that's really cool. That's a lot of fun.
That's a super idea. And I'm sure you would find people for that.
Yeah, maybe that's the course I'm doing. Interesting.
Because sometimes it's complicated. Like I know most of the people, they would do the test, they will read the response behind, but they won't go deeper because the time, lazy, X reason. And if then you offer this kind of course, then maybe you can get a bit deeper And I guess it's more fun than doing the research on your own. So
yeah,
there is definitely value.
Yeah, and also like giving people the space and room to talk about it, to explore it together. That seems such a lovely idea.
Yeah, and you can get other people feedback on your profile as well. Because I know when I did the Belbin, I did it with work. When we went to Singapore, we had to do this as the first intro, and they were building group based on the results. And they were saying, okay, then it will be the shepherd who's doing managing of the group. And we were two shepherds in the group. And the people, they decided on their own who would be the shepherd, who was more the shepherd. Like, yeah, we didn't really ask them to choose. But then in a way, they all decided I would be the manager of the group at the end. So I guess I was showing sign of it in a way, but maybe the others were not. And was, I guess, really interesting to, once you know the people, see. So, and they were like, because when I received the feedback, I was like, okay, it seems like me, but because it's kind of, the kind of strongest one, or it's like you're managing people, your own command, I was a bit like, whew, responsibility. Like now it's there on paper, it's a bit scary. But then the people, they're like, yeah, no, but you're doing this way, so you're really into this profile, and it's okay. And it was great to see that people could see it in me. Maybe some element that I wasn't able to see. So maybe working in group could bring a lot of value around that, because sometimes you can't see it within yourself, depending on the traits.
Oh, that's a good one. And how did it feel for you when they told you, yeah, we see the shepherd in you?
Well, it felt great. Like, okay, I have this in me. Because at the time when I was doing it, I was still a bit of a victim. I knew I had this in me, but I wasn't really accepting it. And when people start to let you know that, okay, yeah, you're really acting this way, and we can see that you're really inspiring people, and then maybe I guess it's helped to accept that it's there, and you start using it, or not being afraid of it, and it's increased confidence. Because it was there, but I was still in this victim mode, so I didn't really want it to, I don't know, I was scared maybe to take the step really to this role. And knowing that people were on board and that they were seeing me this way, then you just accept who you are and you go with it, in a way. Because I was scared, to not, to be kind of dictator or commander, see this way. And knowing that it wasn't the case, I think that's great. Yeah, it's really nice to think about this experience. And I had a really hard time because the other person that was a shepherd as well, and so we were not friends at all. I really didn't like this girl. And knowing that it was the two of you, and I was like, oh God, like it's not going to work. And I was really in competition, like I need to be the best. But then it was the first time, so I didn't really want to push to be the leader, even if I knew that in every group I was doing at school, I was the leader.
Yeah.
And so we decided informally that maybe she would start to manage, but at the end, everybody was coming to me. And I took the lead naturally. So yeah, just went this way.
Yeah, that sounds like natural leadership abilities.
I think it's really about being authentic, if there is something to get from that.
Yeah.
Because then if it's your profile, it will just naturally show up because it's who you are. And if you resist, then you will be maybe another profile. But it's not really who you are, and it will be more complicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sometimes wonder like how my thinking, because I'm quite deep in the MBTI stuff, how it kind of limits my vision.
In which way?
Because when I'm talking to people, I'm like my head is like running like a computer program. Like, what's the cognitive function? Is he more introverted, more extroverted? I kind of assess this person as we are talking in the back of my mind, and it's kind of taking away some attention, and also like maybe by putting on this model on the other person or myself, I miss some things that are in between the lines.
Yeah, because like a profile, it's something generic, and then everybody is unique.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're missing the uniqueness of the person in a way.
Yeah. I mean, in the way they express their personality, they are unique. Like that's something I see, but they are also in a sense beyond their personality, which I can imagine just gets lost a little bit here and there.
So whenever you speak to someone, you're able to see, okay, you're this type of person.
No, I'm very, for example, with you, I was not sure at all. Like I was pretty sure it's a blue one, but I didn't know like which one. And I like Consul, I wouldn't have guessed.
No, I'm not sure. Maybe this one or maybe another one, but I remember around this line, so maybe it's.
Yeah, I was quite sure about the logistician, because you're so orderly and principled and thorough. Like the way you do your work is like with so much attention to detail.
Interesting. It's not the feedback I had when I was working. I'm really more into a bigger picture. I'm not so much into getting to detail.
Wow, okay.
But I'm getting to detail because I'm kind of perfectionist and I want to do everything perfect. So then I take care of the detail because I have to.
It bothers you otherwise. I see. Yeah, you see, those are things like I don't know when I'm talking to a person and they don't tell me their type. I'm sometimes unsure. I mean, with entertainers, it's pretty easy to spot them because they are always drawing attention and being like, "Ooh, that's me."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of entertainers around me in my life, which is very how do you say? Oh, this word doesn't exist in English, I think. It's very entertaining, basically.
It's the purpose of their personality.
Yeah. And they are quite easy to spot.
Yeah, no, the big category, I think it's quite easy. Then in details, a bit more tricky. Because then you need to really get to know the person. And I guess sometimes people, they don't really know who they are. Because what you just said about details, I always thought I was someone into details. And that's why I started to work in finance. But then once I was in finance, in all my feedback for the annual review, stuff like that, was like, yeah, Morgane, you need to go into the detail because, you know, I had to review every line of the Excel file to checking every number. And it was bothering me. What the heck? I prefer to look at the final amount and know more or less if it's okay. And then when they start to send me that every 6 months, we were doing the review and I was like, okay, maybe they are true somehow, like maybe I'm not detail oriented. And I was just lying to myself because it was fitting the profile they were expecting for finance. So I think there is something around that I was trying to fit a specific profile. So maybe there is some leftover around there, like, yeah, sometimes I'm a bit picky in some elements, but it's not fully who I am.
Yeah, interesting. Those are like the details that you don't get from those personality types.
No, because it's quite broad, and and it's all about the awareness of the person about themselves.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to look into it. Because I guess if I wasn't a bit curious and I wasn't really looking in being more aware, I would have spent my life thinking, yeah, I'm good looking into details. And I thought I was a really rational and logic person. And now it's like I'm into spirituality, looking into energy. I realized that maybe I'm more creative than logic. So I was just lying for myself for years.
Wow.
And then once you get to know you, then it changed. So of course, like what you saw for me maybe years ago, it's different from what you can see from me now.
Yeah.
And that's why then the results are really different if you look at the old one and new one.
Yeah, it can develop quite a lot.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, what you mentioned about like logic and spirituality. I was also like, I was very atheist, science kind of minded person when I came out of school. I was like, yeah, the truth is that everything is made of atoms or whatever is beyond that. And it's a material world. There's nothing else, like that's it. And yeah, then I found also that there's, if you take this idea away, then there's more there. And that's actually with that comes a logic that is more precise and more beautiful, a logic that kind of understands its own limits. That's really when logic starts to get interesting to me, because it can always arrive at this point of, oh, well, I cannot get further with that logic that I used to get here. I love that space.
Definitely. It's resonating. I agree. It's interesting to see the evolution, because I really thought I was logic, black and white. And now it's like, there is some gray in between. A lot
some
of gray.
white there.
And then it opened up so much opportunities and new way of thinking. And what you'd say, like I'm a logical person, it's almost like a limiting belief.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Because
Very
in a way,
true.
you're limiting yourself to say, okay, I'm logic and that's it. I'm not open to the rest. And when you say, okay, I'm spiritual or whatever, it's still kind of a label, but it still open up your possibility and what's there and your thinking.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it's also really about like removing or understanding, becoming conscious of that label that you put on yourself and seeing its limitations, and then kind of maybe it's sometimes to get to another label that's just more open, more free. And from that to also realize its limitations and to come to a label that's even more free, and like keep going until there's no label anymore, like to ultimately drop any labels. Yes, even that one.
So it's empty.
Yeah. without us labeling it as empty.
And it's interesting because now I realize, I think I understand what we did on the first module of the training about the who. We were talking about the who, and I was like, it's weird. I don't know what to do with that. And now it's like, makes sense.
Yeah.
With this.
They kind of planted a lot of seeds in Mod 1.
But then it takes some time to really realize, like to do the puzzle with everything to get the bigger, at least your bigger picture, because I guess we all understood a certain way and we all got different knowledge based on what we lived before. So that's interesting to see that. And it's really interesting around this who, because like I'm hearing a lot of, listening a lot of podcasts, and most of the time they ask the guest like, okay, do you present yourself? And they will all be like, yeah, okay, my name is Morgane, and they will all give their job. Then they will maybe say if they have family or not, and this is the label. But it could be so much than that.
Yeah.
And it seems in the society we are really limiting to our name, so our identity. And what is our job? Our job is like everything.
Yeah.
In a way. Or if you're a mother or a father or something like that, but then this is who you are. It stands in 3 parts. That's fun.
Yeah.
So much more. What's coming to your mind?
Oh, I was just thinking about holographic thinking, about how we can kind of be conscious of who we are without labeling ourselves. And that it feels like you can be conscious of who you are as, as an example, say as this human being, like, and label it with your name, and then what you do all day, either to earn money or not, like whatever, and then like what's your family situation, and kind of hold those 3 in this example all together in one kind of room of being conscious, and then speaking from that, like kind of explaining, taking that sense or consciousness and kind of putting it through your mouth out there. And that feels like so much less generic, feels like so much more true in the moment then. And I kind of try to do it right now with like placing the thought here in front of me and being like, blah. How did this work for you?
It seems like a hard exercise, but I think it's worth thinking about it. But that's yeah. I think there is definitely work to do around it in different way to showing up. Not sure if we can put it this way.
I didn't pick it up acoustically.
No, I was
very
saying a
quiet.
different way to showing up or to present to the world.
Yeah.
Than just being a name, a job, and a status. That's not funny. And that's not interesting.
No, not really.
It's like you're like everyone else. And personally, I don't want to be like everyone else. So.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is, like, if people present themselves as those labels, they think of themselves as being boring. But we kind of have the power to see and look at them and be like, what else is there? Like, tell me about where those labels point to, kind of, because that's interesting.
Yeah, so the way you present yourself is in a way like the way you see yourself and showing your priority, maybe.
Yeah.
Because if you present yourself, hey, I'm the CEO and my name is Carl. So your work is there and you are here.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I love that example.
No, but you have some people, they arrive and they directly tell you like, okay, this is what I'm doing in life.
I got to write this down. It's so funny.
Yeah, I never saw someone doing it, but but I'm sure in companies some people would do it. Because high self-esteem, high, really big ego, a lot of confidence, and it's what I say, but in a way, I think the lack of self-esteem and the lack of confidence, and that's why they act this way as well.
Yeah, probably.
Forget who they are. So yeah.
Such a cool. I love that sentence. I'm the CEO, and by the way, my name is Carl. I'm going to introduce myself in the future like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can start by everything you'd like. Like, I don't know, I'm doing CrossFit and I can be, wow, I'm a CrossFit lover and I'm a cooker. Oh, and by the way, I'm Morgane, if you're interested. But you can just share what you like. Like, there is no rules.
Yeah.
Like, we did an unofficial rules to start by, my name is Morgane, but
absolutely.
You could start, but yeah, I'm living in this place, or the weather is sun, and yeah, I like the sun. I don't know.
Oh, that's so interesting. Like, imagine all people would introduce themselves with something they with something in our world right now, they would consider it weird. Like, if that would be the normal introduction. What would that be for you?
I'm not sure. Because I don't know, just realize that we start by stating our name. So it's kind of our identity, but it doesn't really show anything. It's just a name.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really say who you are. It's just to say, hey, just so you remember me, my name is da da da. But
actually true.
On the other hand, say, oh yeah, I'm the friend of Carl, because I don't know if you're invited to a party.
Yeah.
So you have to say with who you came so they can, I don't know, organize you in their head or whatever they want to do.
True. On the other hand, like saying who I am is like super deep.
Yeah, but I'm not sure people are really saying in a deep way.
No,
I just say, hey, I'm Carl.
I don't think so, but it points to something deep in a sense. And I mean, the way someone says their name is very, very telling already.
True. So maybe I should change the way I'm saying mine. Because I'm really flexible with my name. Because I know people don't know how to say it in French. So most of the time they ask me like, okay, how do we say your name? And I'm like, I don't mind. In French is Morgane. But if you want to say it like Morgan, I will understand. Morgan or whatever, I understand it's me, so I don't mind. And maybe I should mind. So, and ask everybody to say it in French because this is my name. Even if it's hard, I know.
So the kind of focus is on the A, Morgane.
I think so. Never really thought about it.
How do you say your name in French?
Morgane.
Morgane. Okay.
I'm not sure there is any
Morgane.
Morgane.
It's interesting in German if you just write it out in German, not your name, but how it sounds in French. You would have the word morning.
Yeah, it's Morgan. Yeah, like Guten Morgen.
Yeah.
That's why when I was in the Netherlands, I was saying you can call me Morgan, Morgane. So I had someone who called me Morgane. In here, they call me Morgan, but like without the E at the end, or another version of it. Yours is easy, so it fits everywhere.
Yeah. I sometimes struggle to say my name because it's just one syllable. And it's like, really? Yeah, I find it sometimes difficult. People usually don't understand my name in the first instance. I don't know how to speak my name.
How do you say it? Present yourself?
Carl. That was actually a little bit geared towards French.
Okay, I don't say it exactly this way. So you have a really small K at the beginning. The way you say it, it's really smooth. Could be a C, I guess. I say it a bit differently. So I guess then you don't say the K the same way in different language.
How do you say it?
I call you Carl.
Carl.
In French, the K is K.
Yeah, so you have double A, and that makes it more long at the beginning. Carl.
That could be. There is just an A, but it's the way we say the K. So.
Yeah. Such a funny exercise to think about your own name and how you want to say it. I sometimes introduce myself as Kali.
Yeah, I remember you did that in the first module. Oh, in the peer group, I'm not sure. Maybe it was in the peer group. Could be. I remember at one point you said it.
Yeah. And here in Leipzig, my home city, or my city right now, a lot of people know me as Kali. And it's cool, like I enjoy it. It's like a more playful kind of name.
And why have you decided to change it? Oh, it's not fully change it, but to adapt it.
I don't know. I think it came from a feeling that it sometimes feels more appropriate to say my name that way. That's all. And I enjoy it when people call me like that also.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not everybody that thinks about changing their name, even if it's not really changing your name. But
no, it's not. Yeah, I just introduce myself differently.
Yeah, it's kind of nickname, almost.
Yeah, it is a nickname.
Most of the time it's shorter, for you it's longer. But
for me it's longer, yeah.
There is no rules. And do you plan on using it, like, I don't know, for your business or for?
I mean, my YouTube channel is called Kali, and My website is just my name, my normal name. So yeah, I don't intend to use it for something specific. The YouTube channel name can be switched very quickly, so that's not something I'm attached to. Yeah, I also tried to find the domain kali.com, but it was taken from some beauty, or it was around clothes something. So yeah, I really get to climb the corporate ladder and then take over this company. Then I get this. Then I get the domain. That's the plan. But they don't know. So
That's a big plan.
no, that's just a side hustle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, for me it's available, so I don't have to fight anyone to get it. Not fun. Maybe I should find something else.
Like your normal name or just
Yeah,
your
no,
first
yeah,
name?
I will put my name and my family name.
Yeah, I mean, I have my address like that as well.
Mm.
So
yeah, I need still to create like a professional one, and I will do the same way. But I think it's at least it's easy to remember.
yeah.
It's feeling well. It's 2M, so it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, that's really cool. It also, like, it looks really good because of this double M, and I don't
And
know.
double G and double N.
Yeah, there is so much aesthetics to your name. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, my parents did great on that.
Good job, parents. Oh,
No,
I have the yeah. Go ahead.
No, go. I don't even remember what I was going to say.
I have the opportunity. My mother's birth name is Kochta, and this is really beautiful with my first name together, Karl Kochta, which is KK.
With the C? Oh, K as well.
Yeah, double K. And if I feel like boring, then I might change it to Karl Kochta, or I might actually do that as my kind of professional name at some time. I don't know. It's like a really cool name. I enjoy it a lot.
No, it's yeah, it's like almost singing name, both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the double later, like the MN. And that's why I kept for my business my birth name, because it's well, I like it this way.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
used to it. Like, I don't know. I still
Yeah.
have my birth name at the moment, even if I'm married. So
I feel like it's all about feeling comfortable with it, with what it kind of expresses and brings out in yourself. Like if that's on track, then it's cool.
That's true. And that's why there is some people just changing names, so it fits who they are.
Yeah, especially like in the spiritual context.
Yeah, when we talked the last time about Gala Darling, when I read the story, you change name, and I was like, why? Okay, I get it, but it's so weird. Like, I would never do something like that, but okay.
Right.
And I know some people, they would change name when they write a book, or I don't know, if became a famous actor or speaker.
Yeah.
I guess we have a bit of time, but who knows?
It might blow up tomorrow.
Let me know when your book is out or your movie.
Yeah. You of course as well. We will be afterwards linked down in the comments below.
Definitely. No, I don't have plan yet. But something really funny happened. So on my last day of work in December, so they all knew I was going to launch my coaching business and stuff like that. And they were like, well, but please let us know when your book is out. I want a specific copy that you sign. And I was like, yeah, I haven't planned a book or anything. Yeah, no, you will do a book, I'm sure of it. Yeah. So they all are sure that I'm going to write a book at one point.
You got no choice.
So I'm not
there.
aware. I need to find a topic. But that was really funny.
Cool.
Because I never mentioned anything like that.
It's so interesting. Sometimes people just know or have a sense of who you can become more than you have yourself. I actually had this at in very different points. So, for example, my politics teacher in school told me, yeah, I will one day be the CEO of Mercedes. I was very flattered by this, of course. And I asked him, what kind of car he wants as a gift when I'm the CEO. I think it was some cabrio, but I might get back to him when I get as the CEO. So that was a really interesting moment because it was it was a joke, but at the same time, he kind of pointed towards something inside me that he found to be different from the people around. And also, oh yeah, like in my old work, I had a friend who asked me to coach him. And I was not at all knowing about coaching at that time. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And we kind of set everything up and it was a total disaster. It didn't went well. But at some point he kind of told me like, I trust you so much with this coaching thing and you're like a born coach and stuff like that. I was like, what are you seeing? I don't see it. Well, now I'm in a coach training program. So it kind of forged the future for me.
Interesting. But yeah, it's what we were saying before, that sometimes you don't see things in yourself and some other they would see this part that you don't want to see. Yeah. In my previous job, like we were going, I don't know, every time we were going out on Friday just to have a drink, and we were talking about so much different topic, and I was always trying to push them to see things differently, or not to limit themselves. They were like, oh yeah, I can't climb the Everest, and I was like, why can you? Maybe if you train you can do it. But I was having this kind of discussion, and I think at 2 or 3 times one of my colleagues was like, oh Morgane, you should so much be a motivational speaker, you would be so good. And I was doing the coaching training and I was like, I'm training for that. But it was interesting to see that they could see something in me like that, not knowing that I was going through past more or less related to it. So
yeah. People get it. Like they are attentive. They kind of pick it up, even though they might not even know it consciously, but they pick something up.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to write a book and being a motivational speaker when I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I'm basing everything on my past colleague, then it's going to happen.
Oh, this is so wonderful.
But that's funny. It would be really interesting to know if it's going to happen or not.
Well, it would take away a lot of fun.
Definitely. But if it's happening one day, I guess I will really think about it and like, they were right.
Oh, great. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm so I'm so happy to have such a cool conversation. It's so much fun. And it's like topics that, yeah, the people in my daily life don't really have access to or so much contact as we do. And so great to kind of talk about it so freely and kind of trusting the other person is in this as well and kind of knows stuff. That's so much joy.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. But it's always nice talking to you. Since day one.
Thank you.
It's really, yeah. I'm really happy I've been able to follow you since beginning, and finally, like, we were in the same group and we did a bit of coaching together at one point, and we were following each other in a way, and it's really
yeah, feels like a journey together. Like every person is on their path, but we're still kind of venturing out into the unknown.
Definitely. And I can personally really feel a connection with you. Like, maybe we're not thinking all the time the same, but there is this kind of connection or synergy. There is something that I don't have with everybody else. So I found it nice.
Yeah, I also really enjoy it. It's cool that you speak to it because I never really expressed it for myself so clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of energy attracting energy in a way. And yeah, you attract some people based on your energy, even if like it was supposed to be random group that we were putting together. And I didn't have all the same experience with the other kind of group I had for coaching or stuff like that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, there's so much magic happening. I'm just reading the book. It's called A Course in Miracles. Just like a kind of known book around miracles and how to heal the thinking of the mind, basically. How to let go of all this controlling and security and tap into like the true power of the moment. Yeah, but I'm just starting it out, so I don't know.
But please let me know in next time we speak, like it's a good one and what you get from it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, it was such a pleasure talking to you.
Definitely. Same on my side.
Thank you.